Take this back.
Have you heard of the recent platform for sharing the most valuable design resources online? Yes, the junkyard. That's exactly what I'm talking about. In this episode, we'll be having a conversation with the powerful brains behind this platform. Call them the Design Junkies. Let's welcome them. Hello guys, you're welcome to my show.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
No, where's the Yasanto amongst you? Because it's like all men, you want to intimidate me on my show.
Oh no, we can't do that.
It's a free word. What's that, Antoine?
Hey, so you know
LGBTQ.
Oh.
Come on. Please, let's continue.
Anyway, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Kindly introduce yourselves to my audience. I'll start from you.
Why me?
Well, you know, that thing the elders say,
Child,
when you're
none of
cutting, you cut from here.
Start time.
Okay, so my name is Jeffrey DeGraft Henson. I'm a product designer.
And a married man.
If you marry me.
I am Michael Ivy, a freelance product designer.
Regan Marfu, a designer.
My name is Samuel. I'm also a product designer.
Wow.
I think we're a farmer.
Yeah, I sell beans too.
That's good. You can advertise here.
Yeah, I sell beans.
And together, they are the
Design
junkies.
Yeah.
Who are the design junkies, and how did you guys meet?
So I mean the design junkies, we are 4 guys, 4 product designers. And yeah, we just came together to try and come up with more initiatives for the design space in Ghana and hopefully the rest of Africa, because we realized there were a lot of things that were missing. There were a lot of gaps in the market that we could take advantage of. So we, as a lot of people might know, we started with our podcast just to share our knowledge, insights and stuff, because we realized we had a lot of things to say that people, like on a one-on-one conversations, people usually find a lot of value from. But yeah, I mean, the masses did not like sort of get benefit from it. So that was like a platform to put that word out there and help people. And how did we meet? I think most of us met online. Well, aside myself and Jeffrey, we were mates in high school, same class.
Which school?
Accra Academy, Science 4.
Glow.
Yeah, so I met Regan online via Instagram. Michael via an interview he came to at a company I used to work at. And yeah, that was essentially it. I think the rest of them also met online as well. I think Jeffrey met Michael on Twitter, Jeffrey met Regan on Instagram, and Regan met Mike on Instagram. We have a video on YouTube that goes into a lot more detail, so you can check out our channel on that one.
Okay. Please check it out as well. I mean, I know you've met a lot of designers, but who handpicked this set to become the Design Junkies?
Okay, so when was it? 2020?
2021.
2021.
November.
Okay. Yeah, so Sam reached out first. As to why he reached out to me, you'll probably have to ask him, but he reached out and said, he had this initiative he wanted to start and explained it to me. And it seemed cool because at that time I was also thinking of starting a podcast, but I was like, Charlie. So when he reached out, I was like, okay, this is a cool idea. And I think the first call we had, Henson was on that call. So we discussed it, the name, and then started, working on the brand and all that. We even thought about Figma and Adobe XD back then. So as to why he reached out to me, I don't know. But I think Mike was a guest on the podcast, I think 2 times.
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, a few times. So after that, we were like, okay, I think it would be good to bring Opana on board. He also had a lot on his chest, a lot. If you listen to the episode, you see that Charlie, the guy was holding it in. So he also came on to, share his experience. So basically, Sam actually, brought everybody together. He probably has a reason, which he has never told us. Has he? Okay, yeah.
He puts me under the bus.
He laughs at us. Yeah.
So aside the podcast and the platform we'll be talking about soon, what else does the Design Junkies What else do you?
Aside the podcast,
and the platform. What else do you have?
what else do we have?
Put it up.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
so with this, I think we have like a roadmap, right? Where you are trying to, you're also trying to build a design community. Okay, so that's like one of the things we are planning on doing. Although we've not actually like figured things out, we are still planning, right? But then at the end, we are also looking out to create more content to us or to educate. So when you look at the education space, especially in design, we noticed that some of the content, they weren't really specific in terms of our market, right? The Ghanaian market and the African market. So we wanted something that our people can also relate to. And that's what I think Sam mentioned about the gap thing, right? Where we saw that there's an opportunity over there. So one, design community, also providing services to us all. So services, I think we spoke on this too on the video Sam talked about, which is currently on YouTube. So that one too will create more like an avenue for employment to us all. So there's more in terms of what's in store for like people that are really like looking out for as in terms of the design junkies, what we have for them. So yeah, that's about it.
And to add to that, I think a lot more of what people see in the coming months will be like centered around the products you're about to talk about. Maybe some other product that could come later down the line, maybe this year, sometime early next year. But a lot more of the stuff will be like video content because we're shooting a lot. Tomorrow we are shooting another video. I'm sure if you've seen, there's a box behind it. You've seen it. You have a fair idea of what we are shooting, but basically we are trying to shoot a lot more videos that you probably won't find on any design channel because we realize that like designers, tech people, we have a lot of fun, right? But mostly the videos you see out there is how to find a job, like all these boring content. So we are trying to bridge that gap of educating people, but also like making it in a fun way. Just so to give people even more reason why they need to be tech, because it's not like everybody using tech is a nerd or something, right? So that's what we are trying to do a lot more of. So you see, I mean, when that video drops, you have a fair idea of what we are talking about. There's nothing like you've seen on any design channel. That's what I can tell you.
I've not heard your voice yet, so I'll throw this question directly at you.
Yes.
You want that?
Moving on to the platform. First of all, why the name Junkyard?
So
this question. You see why I say we need a poor?
No, you have to explain because.
Yeah, but you know, behind everything, there's like the core person to be, should like to be able to articulate it well.
Okay.
Do you want to? If you want to do that, I don't mind.
Let me give it a try.
Okay.
So the whole idea for the name, right, is based off of what we are trying to do, right? We are trying to create a place where people in the tech space can go to find useful information, right? So that's basically what we are trying to do, and that's what the name is about.
The design sound.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's it. So it's a play on our name, the parents' company's name, the Design Junkies, Junkyard. And Junkyard is like a place you go to get like stuff.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's a
so
play
the name
around
of
that.
the name of the company, the Design Junkies.
Yeah.
Talk about that as well.
The name of the company. So okay, I mean the honest truth is it came from my name. My brand name is the Design Sam. And so it was mainly like changing it and just fixing it, the Design Junkies. Junkies because to show you can see.
Yeah, papa.
Like like I'm
yeah, papa.
So,
I mean, you get what you're saying.
Like it's like the vibe I have. Like I try to be different. I try to be not like the regular type. I mean, I'm the typical type. If I see everybody doing this, I would intentionally go the wrong way or the other way. Right. So it was just a play on that, just to bring a different feel. And I think it's runs through everything we do.
And just to add to everything, the name, the Design Junkies, there's no capital letter, there's no space, there's no hyphen. What else? There's no full stop. Sam has fought with people over this, so whoever edit this video, I'm telling you ahead of time, I'm telling you ahead of
We'll
time.
take notes of that. We'll take notes of that. So,
Yeah.
what does the platform do? The Junkyard platform. I'll throw it to you again.
Okay.
Hey.
So,
What I'll say almost hit.
so it's a platform that we are trying to use to educate people in the tech space, right? Not just designers alone. So what we are trying to do is that we want to provide people with articles, videos, right, on topics that they find interesting, things that they don't find anywhere else on the internet or difficult for them to find. We basically just go out there, gather the resources, and then put it on Junkyard, right? So if you're in the tech space and you're interested, maybe you have a topic in mind that you're having issues with, you can basically just go to Junkyard. We'll have the information there for you.
Can I add to that? So one thing I also realized when starting my career was the educational content is very saturated. There's a lot of content, nonsense, the right ones and all that. So what we are trying to achieve is kind of like filter it. You get it? Because when I started, it was difficult to get the right content on a particular topic you want to learn. So we are aiming at picking the right thing that will help, the upcoming ones. And I mean, people already in the design space to be able to just say, okay, I'm looking for this place, I can go there and just get what I'm looking for without having to read about 10 articles or anything like that. You get?
Wow.
You want that? Yeah. Yeah.
Unless maybe you want us to talk about like the roadmap in general.
Well, you can explain further because I visited the site and what I saw was join the wait list.
Yeah, so that's what is currently out now, the wait list. We are still putting things in place to launch. So we should launch like in the coming weeks, or like a month or so. But yeah, it's currently the wait list is out. So use junkyard.com. That's it. So yeah, I mean, I think that's essentially what they said is like the core of it. But over time, we are intending on building it out into more stuff. So like where basically design creators can go and share their resources for people to consume and all that. So you can. This is in the future, right? The core is what they've said, but in the future, there are plans for design creators to come, maybe start courses, create stuff for people to consume, and then over time, we have plans of also like finding ways to learn from how people use the platform, and then tailor the resources based on what they actually need. I mean, similar to what we are trying to do, filter out the content and remove the chaff, and from like what it's actually used for. So that's what we are planning to do. But for the very first start, it's just going to be like a junkyard, right, of resources for people to come and consume.
So for now, you guys are going to be populating it yourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with time, it will become like a
I'm
freelance.
hoping.
Yes, that's what we intend to do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, is it going to be like a paid platform? Like, because considering the content that you'll be putting on there, the education and everything is going to be paid.
Right now, there are no plans of making it paid. Yeah, I mean, we intend on just giving it out and letting people use for free. If we ever get to the point where we want to monetize it, I'm pretty sure there will be discussions around that. But the core of it will still be free. Like the core principle or the core value proposition will still be free. Anybody can still come to the platform to get the content they want to consume and then learn some stuff, improve on their skills, advance in their careers. If we ever get to the point, maybe in the next year, 2 years, we are not too sure. We don't want to think too far, right? Yeah.
So, I believe by this, I don't want to answer this question for you, but let me see if I get it right. That means your target audience is not just the experts who are already in the field, but general, from beginners to like high. Will you be sharing templates so that I also turn into a designer by night?
Yeah.
By night.
I mean, if there are templates, I'm just going to carry some from.
Hinson got you, don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, templates are in the plan. So I think what we are going to be starting with articles, like videos, templates. We are having discussions around it, whether to like find source templates from other people or create templates ourselves. I think right now what we are leaning more towards is build them ourselves and share it because of like all these copyright legal stuff. We don't have a lawyer. We don't want to run into any trouble and lose all our money. The little money we have. But yeah, that's what we are leaning more towards. But the core stuff are going to be articles, videos, and then build a template as ourselves, share it, and then over time we have like a lot of these different design communities we are working with. I know we are in talks with like US Ghana to do some stuff. We are in talks with Messi Gods. We are in talks with Friends of Ekmakra, Derek, Chome, Hakim. Yeah, so I mean, there are plans. Sorry?
Dex Ghana.
Yeah, Girls in Animation. Like all these people, we are in conversations with them to try and have like all their useful resources they want to share with the community. So once we sort that out, the platform will begin to grow, and that is how we go into the creators bit I was talking about.
Wow. So you guys actually have your different jobs 9 to 5?
Yeah.
Some people know they do.
Some people know you have.
I'm sorry.
You have 9 to 5.
I'm sorry.
Senior one, you work at dawn.
That's all means.
It's the whole company sitting there. Well, I think he had a 9 to 5, but
Yeah.
I don't anymore right now. I'm just
Free man.
he just did.
Please, uploading the template so that I can also start.
He just did ghost.
I need freedom from Pekutek. I really like the vibe among you guys. Do you ever fight or argue?
Yes.
All the time.
Especially these two.
Today, sir.
These two.
All the time.
Yes.
I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
to be expected, really, because we are all trying to do like something great.
If you have a
And,
stubborn Reagan, yeah.
I mean, he now took himself. I mean, but we are all trying to do like something great for ourselves, for the community, like for the design landscape in Africa in general. And all these things come. I mean, there are different ideas, different mindsets. We are going to obviously butt heads, but the most important thing is that we figure it out, and then we move on.
That's nice. Are you open to new members?
This matter.
Right now. No, outside for you. Right now, no.
Why no?
Yeah.
Why no?
I mean,
We are trying. We have our feet, right? Like we have our foundation, but we are trying to build a wall before we bring anyone else on board, right? Because already Sam is already struggling with managing people. I am already like we we want to bring someone else on board to make the problems more. Because like I was saying, we already have different ideas in our heads, and sometimes we have to go back and forth with all this one. So at this point, let's just try and build what we have in our heads before. If we are going to bring anybody else on board, will probably be to help with other things like social media and all that. But right now, we've divided that work amongst ourselves. So for now, I know.
I don't know if I'm supposed to give this exclusive, but then we've tried it before.
Oh, I was going to say no. Please.
End up for this.
Please.
You like,
No.
I don't want anyone like
If we have someone that's smart, they'll be able to connect what I said with what he said. So please.
Why people they fear?
Why you
No,
want to do
but
that?
at least there should be a female. Why don't you have a female? Or maybe anytime you think of the design
This is my
junkies,
mic
you think of some design giants like.
I want to say something, but I don't know how long this video is going to get. I don't want people tagging me. So you know what? For now, no.
why?
In the future,
No, with what?
No, we don't want any other team. In the future, we'll look at
I
hiring.
specify that like we don't want any other team member.
Yeah, we don't want any other team.
Specify
But
that
in the
one.
future, we'll look at hiring more female designers, female social media managers. Whatever. Right now, no.
I think basically what you're trying to say is that if we think you'd be a good fit, interacting with us, then we can bring you on board, regardless of gender, race, whatever.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. I mean, we are not gender biased.
Go to the Google form.
We are not. We are not the gender biased. We are not any.
It only happens like this
yeah.
because I think we really know each other.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
that's
easy
how
to
come we
connect.
came together, and it's also not really any fault of ours that the industry is really saturated with men, right?
I beg.
Let's end there.
You make
We don't want the design junkies tagged on
I
any.
think basically what we are saying is that I mean it's a close knit team. We are doing everything ourselves. We are open to the idea. If you think you can help us in any way, please reach out to any of us, Regan, Michael, Jeffrey, myself. Just send us a message what you think you can help with, and then we'll be open to having conversations. But for right now, we are not really like looking for anybody. Yeah.
Bombastic
Okay, I
side
think that
eye.
helps. Then,
Oh, you were looking for a job.
What?
We were looking for a job.
I'm looking for a job.
Were you the way you were?
Oh yeah.
We'll consider.
I mean, we can talk. Backstage, have you been?
So now that you've mentioned reaching out, please share your socials so that if anyone wants to reach out.
Okay, I remember.
We do on the podcast, so
Yeah.
go on.
Oh, okay. He's
Don't make no mistake.
he's the design Sam on Instagram. The design DSGN, no capital letter. Sam, you can spell that. I'm Regan.design.
S-O-M-E.
SAM. I'm Regan.design. Regan RAYGAN.design. Not his design, normal design. His _IV. Right?
Spell that as we talk.
_AYIVI.
AYIVI. He's JDG Hinson. Or there's underscore. See, I know your handles. And follow our socials, the Design Junkies.
Yeah, thedsgnjunkies and junkyard. Use junkyard. USEJUNKYARD.
Again, mistake.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us today. Any last words in case there's something you wanted us to discuss and it didn't come up? Anything?
And yes, if you haven't joined the wait list, you know what to do.
Yeah, please join the wait list if you haven't already. I think we have a lot of people signing up that beat my expectations. So yeah, that's like a good sign that the community is actually willing to support and is in need of such platform. But if you haven't already, please sign up and you'll be the first to know of any new stuff like behind the scenes of this and like a lot of stuff that will be exclusive. So please sign up.
Yeah.
And subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We are trying to grow it, so subscribe to our YouTube channel.
What's the channel, the name of the channel?
thedsgnjunkies. The Design Junkies everywhere.
Everywhere.
If you see any other thing, it's a fake account.
Every platform.
TikTok self,
If you
TikTok
see
self.
like the cup, like the tea cup, it's a fake account.
Anything different is a fake account.
Yes.
No underscore, no full stop,
No
capital
space,
letter, no space,
no hyphen. Thank you.
Yep.
No anything, just the letters in small caps, simple.
The Design Junkies.
No, I'm not fight with you, but my father.
You know the funny thing. You know, say
Alright.
the day we go there, Osu, then I fight over that thing.
Very good.
US Ghana. Some girl, let's not do mistake.
So, thank you so much for staying with us in this episode. I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I did, meeting the Design Junkies. Please do like the video, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
I'm sure you'll be able to. Bye.
Stephanie.
Hey.